You are all seeing me in peak vacation mode, and I'm making no apologies. I didn't even do my hair for you. So there.
Chair,
Uh,
you look great, but I'd love to move this along, please, since we do have quorum as we speak.
Ken-
Right?
Kenzik is a model of efficiency. I'm loving it.
wow. All right.
I had to get on this for the vote, but yeah, if we can move, please.
We'll slide along.
You are officially live as well.
Thank you very much. Okay. With that, I call the meeting to order at 6:04 p.m. Secretary Commissioner Fay, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Holden,
Here.
Commissioner Barrio,
Here.
Commissioner Trindade Duramo,
Present.
Commissioner Kenzik,
Present.
Commissioner Lemon Strauss. Sorry, Commissioner Lemon Strauss, one more time.
Sorry, here.
Great. Commissioner Fay is here. Commissioner Harris is not here. Commissioner Sycamore is not here. Commissioner Hanrahan had emailed earlier to send his regrets. So with 6 of 9, we do have a quorum.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. On our special meeting agenda, there is but one item. And is it Commissioner Barrio? Are you moving it? You don't have Commissioner
Yes.
Hanrahan. Okay. The only item is the protest of the license application from SOAST. So if you want to give us the quick and dirty, many of us are familiar with it. It's also documented in everyone's email. Speed read it if you haven't yet. Commissioner Barrio, take it away.
Yeah, so last year in August, we protested SOAST's application for a summer garden. Since then, we have worked a lot on their license renewal, and the ANC came to a settlement agreement on that renewal, which included various provisions related to noise, trash, um, and other matters. But the summer garden was outstanding and was not included in that settlement agreement. We've spoken with the applicant extensively and with the neighbors, and we eventually reached an impasse. Um, I can just give a quick breakdown of the proposed summer garden and the issues that it poses. So, this summer garden would be, I believe, above the second floor, and it is within a direct line of sight of a row of townhomes, which are in an RF zone. They're in a residential zone. They are not in an arts zone, unlike the rest of the buildings on that block of Ninth Street, that 1900 block of Ninth Street. And the, the issue here for peace, order, noise, quiet is that the patio is about 11 feet away from one unit's bedroom and 15 feet away from another unit's bedroom with a direct line of sight. And so there are already a lot of concerns about noise from SOAST. There is a history of noise complaints from many different neighbors in the area, including in that block of townhomes and others. And there's also concerns about privacy, people looking into your bedroom. And so, for these reasons, the ANC protested back in August. And unfortunately, after our discussions with the applicant, we talked about what times might be acceptable to close the summer garden. Recently, we reached out with a sort of final offer of closing the summer garden around 6 p.m. They said that would be far too early, is my understanding of their latest response. They were hoping to go till midnight or 1 a.m. And the original application was, I believe, until 2 or 3 a.m. And so that brings us to where we are today, which is we're holding this special meeting. The protest hearing is scheduled for July 15th, which is just 2 weeks from now, roughly. And I was hoping that we could deal with this at our regularly scheduled meeting, but the new rules from APCA, which were handed down after the Unity Lounge protest that we unfortunately did not prevail in. ABCA's rules state that in order for the ANC to exercise its great weight, we must take a formal vote on our position related to these substantial changes that's duly noticed, that has a quorum, And so apparently our protest, which we've already voted on last year, is not enough for them. And so that's why I worked with Miguel to call this special meeting. I really appreciate him and others organizing to make this happen on such short notice, and everyone for taking a little bit of time out of their Monday to attend. But yeah, you can review the letter. I'm happy to answer some questions, but this is basically formalizing our protest of SOAST, breaking down some of the arguments and reasons why we are opposing the summer garden, and this will allow the ANC's great weight to be exercised in the protest hearing on July 15th.
Yeah, I think it's
Fabulous.
very straightforward.
For tidiness, will you make the motion, Commissioner Barrio?
Yes, I would like to make the motion that, let's see, that the ANC officially adopts the following position with respect to SOAS's application for a substantial change to add a summer garden on its rooftop based on the information and evidence outlined below in the resolution coupled with ABCA precedent and District of Columbia policy. The ANC 1B finds that the proposed summer garden will have a detrimental effect on the peace, order, and quiet of the neighborhood.
I'm going to second that.
Okay, made and seconded. Just a quick in absentia shout out to Carrie Verdi once again for stepping in and helping advise through this one, and put all the proper Blue Book citations in our letter, which I really appreciate. And then we turn to Frank Chauvin, who's got his hand up. Give me just a sec.
Can I make a quick
Okay.
comment before Frank speaks?
You may indeed.
Awesome. Sorry, Frank. Oh, sorry, you didn't need to take him down. I think one of the things I wanted to say was that we have been working very hard to clarify with Chair Chair Anderson what great weight means in the ABC board and how that great weight is granted. So I know this is a hoop that we're all having to jump through, but appreciate Francois' efforts here and the quick interpretation of the great weight language that we received from the chair. The other thing I wanted to say, and I've got one comment on the document, which I will wait until after Frank speaks, but the other thing I wanted to say is that for several years, I've been tracking great weight relative to things like zoning. And one of the things that comes out as a very clear standard is that the zoning board is not required to give great weight to an ANC that says we don't like it. But the zoning board is required to give great weight to an ANC that says the following items are of great concern, and we are delineating them here for your consideration and for resolution. And we can even propose resolution, which also must be considered, with some great weight. And so I think this is something we'll have to kind of talk about ongoing, because when we say we are protesting on the basis of peace, order, and quiet, that is in fact the required language by the board. And if you do not protest on those terms or that basis, the chair will actually dismiss your protest as being inadequate. But what we're learning is that in addition to providing the peace, order, and quiet, we are also required to delineate the items that are of issue to our community to the board. And so I think that's just maybe a quick explanation as to why I think we're having to go through this, is to put that additional language around what are the specific issues so that ABCA can consider those specific issues and recommendations with the great weight that they should come with.
Okay. Frank, you are able to unmute.
Yes. Could you pull up the map that shows that there's actually 2 units, address at 815 T Street and 817 T Street, that have 11-foot distances, clear line of sight into the bedrooms from the roof deck or from the summer garden. And there's a third unit at 815 T Street, a lower level that's 15 feet. So just to clear, modify the record, there's 3 units that are deeply affected. Actually, there's 4 units. We didn't include the 817 lower unit in this because we couldn't get a hold of them this time, but they've been complaining. So if you just look, there's 2 top level units, 817T and 815T. You'll see the 2 top level sets of windows, 2 on the left side at 817 and 3 windows on the right on the right side at 815 T Street. Those are both 11 feet direct eyesight into the summer garden. And at 815 T Street, there's a lower level that you can't really see the windows, but we pointed them out and green boxed them. That's the one that goes down a floor and is approximately 15 feet without. I can see the summer garden, but not a direct view into the window from the summer garden. So I just wanted to make that clarification. And then secondly, thank you, Commissioner Fay, for the great care you're taking with and the commission here in this act of holding a special meeting consider to respond to ABCA's delineated requirements for great weight that have never really been pressed by the community, by any ANC, because there's not any great writing on how to do this properly. So this meeting is trying best to get the great weight standard. But the great weight standard also is that they will respond to each articulated piece in writing. So that's the great weightness that we're getting, the great weight we're getting and pushing forward. So looking forward to that response, and thank you all for taking this great weight matter seriously and protecting the RF1 residential versus the commercial components of this complex neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chauvin. I've got Commissioner Holden.
So the protest is to protest a substantial change. That's what's happening currently, right? A substantial change to their existing license.
It's a formal opposition. Yeah.
Any further points?
I want to make just one more, which is that
correct.
if the Nightlife Noise Balance Amendment Act were to be enacted today, which is legislation drafted by ABCA themselves and submitted to council via the mayor's office. If that Nightlife Noise Balance Amendment Act were to be passed today, it would eliminate any kind of uncertainty about whether or not this summer garden could be opened, because that Nightlife Noise Balance Amendment Act very clearly states that no noise can be heard from within 15 feet of an RF1 RA property line. And since the summer garden sits right on that property line, less than 15 feet away, it would basically just kind of render this moot. But I don't think it's worth putting that into this letter because it has not yet passed. And we certainly don't want to confuse anything, but I think it is very consistent with the thinking that ABCA has already conveyed through their draft act.
Yeah. And I just want to quickly say that this is I'll say a somewhat unique and interesting case in that you do have a business that is in the arts overlay, but is right next to the RF residential zone. That has not been the case in a lot of the establishments that we've reviewed as an ANC.
Commissioner Kensick.
Let's call the question, please.
Okay, any objection? All righty, all those in favor of the document as presented, please raise your Zoom hands. I've got 6 in favor, which I believe is unanimous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay, great. It passes. Thank you very much. And with that, we have exhausted our agenda. I adjourn the special meeting. Thank you very much, everyone, for making time. Commissioners, moving over to COW, we have to leave this meeting and join that one so that we have the recordings done correctly. So